And I'm right up in the camera's face. Good morning, beloveds. It's Easter. Hence the nice necklace and the pretty colored shirt. And there's a sweater that'll go over this because it's in the 60s today. Yeah. I don't know what. So, happy Resurrection Day. May you have a good resurrection experience if you're, Christian. And we have a really interesting title today. It is April 9th. Our title is the 23rd Psalm. And this is Ruth B. Smith, published in Divine Science Monthly in June of 1933. So, yes, this should be interesting. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. No good thing shall be withheld from them who walk uprightly. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. God is love. Love never faileth. God restoreth my soul. God leads me in the path of righteousness for God's name's sake. Spirit satisfies the longing soul, fills the hungry soul with goodness. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. My present shall go with thee, and I shall give thee rest. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the presence forever. Lo, I am with you always. O Lord my God, in thee do I put my trust. Come unto me all that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give ye rest. Well, all right, Ruth B. Smith, what was your purpose here? To remind us, one, everybody knows the 23rd Psalm. To remind us that we have a power back of us. The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. Because she immediately follows up, no good thing shall be withheld from them who walk uprightly. There is a power back of us. There is a power back of us that wants us to be happy, wants us to be joyful, wants us to be. But for that to happen, we have to walk in alignment with that power. So, when we align with the qualities of God and follow the qualities of God, then we will be, no good thing will be withheld from us. Now, the good things may not come from the direction that we are expecting, but they will not be withheld from us. That's one of the reasons why you want to be open to all directions when you're treating for good. So, Spirit maketh me lie down in green pastures and leadeth me beside the still waters. God is love. Love never fails. She's just simply reminding us what God is. So let's go back to the qualities of God, which is peace and joy and happiness and creativity and love. And while we may not get what we think we want, as the Rolling Stones say, we always get what we need. Spirit restoreth my soul and leadeth in the paths of righteousness for Spirit's sake. Okay. Spirit cannot lead us astray. It can't. Ego can. And ego's really good at that because ego's only job is to make sure that you stay alive. I'm not even sure ego's job is necessarily to keep us safe. But her response is that Spirit that satisfieth the longing soul and filleth the hungry soul with goodness. Basically, when it's like you take 2 steps, if you take 1 step to God, God runs to you. when we learn to play by the rules, God runs to us. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. That's always been just kind of a weird with the rod and thy staff. The purpose of a shepherd's staff is one, a walking staff, but two, you always notice how it has that hook on the end. That hook on the end is so that they can pull sheep out of the various places that sheep can get. That is the point of the hook. It's to when sheep inevitably wander off cliffs, because they're not the smartest animals. The hook is so the shepherd can literally hook them up and pull them back up. If you ever wondered why there's a hook on the end of the staff, that's why. It's so that shepherd can rescue sheep when they've gotten themselves into things they can't get out of. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. If we will follow the guidance, God will get us out of the nonsense we get ourselves into. Which, by the way, that is one of the definitions of sin, self-inflicted nonsense. So, my presence will go with thee and I will give thee rest. Basically, when we are willing to align with the qualities of God, when we are willing to learn the rules, when we are willing to ask for what we need, God is going to give us what it is that we ask for. It may not look exactly like what we thought we wanted, but it'll always be exactly what we need when we are willing to accept it. I feel like a little bit of a school teacher today. I think it's the glasses on the edge of the nose. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. I've always wondered about that line, in front of my enemies. It's like, I don't know. But she responds, I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee. Basically, no matter what is going on, if you ask for help, Spirit will provide it. It is up to you to take it. That's the little caveat there. It's like, yeah, ask God for help. The Spirit is more than willing to help you. But then you got to be willing to accept that help. And it may come from all kinds of random directions. And you may not like the direction that it comes from, but you know what? Okay. Oh, and I just threw the book on the floor. It's a big book. So that's the sound you just heard. Now I got to find the page again. Okay. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all of the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Lo, I'm with you always. And that is the truth. We dwell in the house of God now. All right? We absolutely do dwell in the house of God now. The question becomes, are we willing to recognize it? Are we willing to look around at the messy material world that we live in and see the truth, the God behind that? To recognize that the messiness is us misusing the power that we've been given. And that when we recognize the misuse, then we can correct that and we can make it a lot less messy. Now, the material world is messy. It just is. Even if everybody was doing everything perfectly, it'd still be messy. But it would be, we would be able to correct it faster. So, and that's what that line says to me. It's like, look around you. God is all around us all the time. Ernest has a quote that says that. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you. You do live in heaven right here, right now. Ernest Holmes says that. It's all God. We are made by God, of God, for God. Everywhere we look, we're all made of the same substance. We dwell in the house of the Lord now. Now, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to act like it? Are we going to be willing to take our shoes off at the door and do the work? Oh, Lord my God, in thee I put my trust. What else are you going to trust but the source of your own being? Come unto me, all thee that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give thee rest. Because the Lord is our co-creator. And when we come to the Lord and lay our burdens at the feet of the Lord will lighten them. It never says the Lord's going to take our burdens away, but it says they will lighten, that the Lord, the Spirit, the presence will lighten them. Because we realize that we are not doing it by ourselves, and that the power to do it is coming through us, not from us. We realize that we are co-yoked, to use an oxen metaphor. We're not pulling this cart by ourselves. And that the power that we're using to do it isn't coming from us, but coming through us. And so we got to be willing to step off that hose of power, and let it flow through. God can only do for us what God can do through us. Take a deep breath. Lay your burden at the feet of the Lord, at the feet of the presence, and see that burden lightened. Because you recognize that the power you're using to carry it isn't your own. Yeah, like I said, nowhere in the Bible does God say that nowhere in the Bible does anybody say that God will take your burden away. But the Spirit will bear the burden with you. And any burden shared is a burden lightened. So, I don't know, Ruth. Did I do you justice? Did the two of us do justice to the 23rd Psalm? I don't know. But we took another look at it and saw what, and maybe it's a guidepost to point us, to remind us who we are, where we come from, and the silent partner that is always with us. So, the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to put our trust in that presence, to put our trust in that Spirit, to put our trust in that which created us, to know that whatever it is that we are working on, that we are doing, that we are moving through, we're not by ourselves. That we have this power back of us that wants our good. That wants our good. And when we're willing to listen, will guide us to it. Which means the other part of the mission is to listen. All right. Okay. All right, Ruth. That's our mission today. Should we choose to accept it? The other one is the same one I give you every day, which is the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like. Big, small, doesn't matter. Point B, take care of yourself. I say it, spiritual practice of doing something loving, kind, and compassionate for yourself. What I'm saying is take care of yourself. What I'm saying is self-care. If you won't take care of yourself, nobody else will. Nobody else will. So that's where you start. You start with self-care. You start by doing loving and kind and compassionate things. And sometimes the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing you can do is to take a deep breath before you speak. And think, are the words about to come out of my mouth the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing I can say? And there is a difference between kindness and niceness. All of us Southern ladies, we know what nice means. And nice is not always kind. So, and I say that, when I say that, I do mean when we talk to other people, but I also mean when we talk to ourselves. When we look in the mirror and are about to speak words to ourselves, even if they're not coming out of our mouth, they're just up in our head. Are they loving? Are they kind? Are they compassionate? We deserve our own love. You deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. Practice on yourself. I mean that. And I say take a nap. I say take a walk. I say take the day off. I say curl up with a good book and a hot cup of tea and soothe your soul. But I also mean make room for joy. That's why I say eat dessert first. Which took a little bit of a turn for me, earlier in the year, at the end of the year. When I say eat dessert first, what I'm reminding you is that your life is a special occasion. Make room for joy, no matter what's going on. And that can look like eating dessert first. And it can look like wearing the nice clothes. And it can look like wearing the nice jewelry. Which is why I have a fancy necklace on today. It's Easter. Fancy necklace. So I'm going to wear the nice clothes. I'm going to wear the nice, but they're comfortable. If I'm going to wear nice, it's still going to be comfortable. So that's the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself is absolutely, absolutely about self-care. And it is absolutely necessary. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So take care of yourself, but make room for joy and practice on yourself. You are your own best test subject. All right. I'm now confused and the cat is cuddling in. And so I just need to literally cuddling in. He just sat down on my lap and buried his head in my elbow. You want to talk about practicing love, kindness, and compassion on yourself? There you go. Making time to do something like that. He's purring too, so that's very distracting. It's also, if you want to make a well-worn path to the source of your own being, meditation, a purring cat will get you there every time. Yep. And maybe you can't have a cat, but I bet you can look up purring cats on the internet because there's something about that sound. Something about that sound, right? All right. So I'm also going to encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you. I'm going to encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Yep. I'm trying to decide if I want to do my mineral water before or after church. And then get that early in your day bright light. We're still pretty cloudy, although the sun came out yesterday. So I'm using artificial light again today. It's called a circadian rhythm. It is a hormone balance. It will help improve the quality of your sleep and your energy through the day if you get that early in your day bright light, especially if you get up before the sun. So, and artificial light does help too. Sunlight is best, but you do what you can with what you got. We haven't seen the sun for 4 days. And then I've already used my Ernest Holmes quote, but it bears repeating. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. And sometimes we have to look for it. Sometimes we have to look around and say, yeah, I know it's messy, but I can see the good behind it. And I can see the good that can come through it. And remember that sometimes the good in the room is what we bring because we're good. I mean, at the core of our being, we are good. And sometimes you look at people and go, I know at the core of your being, you're good, but there's a whole lot of mess on the outside. So I'm going to know the good in you, but I'm going to do it from over there. Just a reminder. So when we're looking for heaven on earth, what we have to remember is it's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. And it starts with knowing that we are good. And knowing that the power to change our situation comes through us, not from us. All right. Deep breath. Because that's a lot. And I'm going to remind you, when you are opening the windows of your soul, Best way to do it, listen to Emma Curtis Hopkins, look for the good and praise it. And like I said, you're part of the good. So take that and know it. All right. Okay. Yeah, he's very distracting now. Okay. I guess I'll remind you, the social media, we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. I spent a good bit of yesterday working on my channel, so I'm going to get it caught up. So that you can, there's 2.5 books worth on that. If you want to know what's going on with any of the books that I've done, and I'm in a hurry to get started on this one, because this is fun and an exercise, and I don't know what I've gotten myself into, which is, pretty much the live stream every day. So you want to know what's going on with the center? Email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you on our constant contact, and the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll take you right to what you want to know, or to the information, or to the person that can help you get it. And the website will do that too. If you go to the website and it says you go to the Sunday Talks, it takes you right to our YouTube channel. There's good stuff on our YouTube channel. We have playlists for Reverend Arthur and for Danielle and for Reverend David, and I have a playlist on there. And Jesse doesn't have a playlist because he is the channel, but the Soul Sessions is really good. So there's some interesting stuff on there. And then, like I said, with on the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel, it's divided up into the months, and I tell you which book I'm doing based on the year. So if you just need something inspirational to listen to, there's a lot of stuff up on those 2 YouTube channels. Okay. I guess I'm at the part where I need my hands, baby. I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a put your trust in God day, a look for the good day, a egg dying day, or an egg finding day, a what does Easter mean to you day, a colorful day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God. You are a divine spark. You are a brilliant light. You are spirit in action. You are God in motion. You are a godling in whom God is well pleased and well represented always. That is the ultimate truth of your being. So go get to know God's idea of you, and leave behind what anybody else has tried to tell you about who you are. Because the only thing that matters about who you are is between you and the spirit that created you, and the spirit that flows through you now. And that is the spirit of love. So it's going to be good stuff. Okay. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. But before that, we will have an Easter service for you. And I'm pretty sure that anybody that shows up is going to be colorful, so it might be worth tuning in just to see what we've decided to wear today. Easter. All right. So take care of yourself. And I'll be back with you at around, I'm aiming more for 9:15. Seems to work better in my schedule. So between 9 and 9:15, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.